Welcome back to Access Anime. My name is Henshin Ikeda, and today I'll be doing a walkthrough and review of Fairy Tail episode 164. And if you remember from last episode, we find out Elfman defeats Botches. Interesting turn of events. I didn't expect that to happen, but Elfman does win. Now moving on past that, we get the next matchup, Mary Jane versus Jenny. Former idol versus former idol. I love where it's going, but it's not a real fight. I mean, it's just a swimsuit competition turned out into something more, because we see more female guild members from different groups come out of nowhere. We see Urza doing bondage with, Evergreen. I love the matchups though, regardless. The last one being, wedding dresses, I love where that was going. But you know what? The last part of the matchup, they actually do fight. They hit a quip, they transform into their ultimate form, and I love watching it, but the clear-cut winner was Mary Jane. Plain and simple, Mary Jane's the winner. Now moving on past that, after the match is over and done with, we find out Jellal, although he doesn't sense any type of magic or whatnot from the previous years, any dark magic being used from Zareth and whatnot, he feels like something is out of place. I just thought I'd mention that. Now moving on past that, toward the end of the episode, we do find out Kagura versus Yukino are up next. I love the matchup. It looks pretty even. In my opinion, it looks like an even match, and it's going to be gruesome. It looks pretty good. In my opinion, it looks great. But I should also point out, Yukino places a bet right off the bat to Kagura. We're going to put our lives on the line. I'm like, wow, Yukino, lives on the line. Wow, I can't believe you actually said that. And again, that's where the episode ends. And I'll hold my final thoughts and my rating at the end of the clip, so stay tuned. But let's dive right on in. Now we open up this episode. Now we get to see Fairy Tail and all the other guilds kind of questioning where Yukino is actually coming from, her mentality. You're placing your lives on the line? What's up with that? I mean, this is a good game, all in good fun, why are you betting your lives? So, again, Fairy Tail, along with a couple other guilds, are questioning Yukino's mentality, if that makes any sense. Now, that's where we open up with. Moving on to a different scene. Now, we open up with Kagura in this new scene, and she actually accepts Yukino's bet. She basically says, come and get it. She's like, come and get it. I'm like, seriously? You actually said that? I'm sorry, I was damn, this is going to be a great fight. I was smiling, it just got interesting. So again, Kagura actually accepts Yukino's challenge, or should I say bet. And again, she says, come and get it. And moving on past that, we're taken to a different scene with Yukino, and we're thrown with a lot of information. Now, it kind of actually makes sense, in my opinion. Apparently, she's a celestial wizard. I was like, great, another Lucy wannabe. But it gets better. We do see a key, not just any key, a golden key. And what do we know about golden keys from what we've seen from Lucy? The 12 zodiacs. So we find out Yukino not only is a celestial wizard, but she has one of the 12 zodiacs. Apparently we see Gate of the Fish and Pisces. Really? Pisces? I've never seen Pisces before, but we find out they're not snakes, they're not water dragons. They're actually two fish. Now they look like snakes, but they're fish. Hence Gate of the Fish. So hopefully there's no confusion there. So again, we see Pisces, and it's being summoned by Yukino, and apparently they're two fish, one's black, one's white, and they look pretty fearsome. They're not it's not a joke, these are real fish, but they're long fish, they look like snakes. They're pretty strong. Now moving on to a different scene, now we're taken to Kagura, and Kagura is just dodging each attack by Pisces. And she's not attacking. She's not doing anything. She's just dodging each attack. I'm like, really? All that talk, come and get it, and you're just running away. Kind of a waste of time. So we're taken to a different scene with Yukino, and she opens up another gate. So she is definitely like Lucy, except, in my opinion, better looking. And she has a better attitude, at least for now. Anyway, she opens up another gate, and she basically says, Gate of the Scales, and it's Libra. I'm like, another one? She should do another one. I was like, Libra, holy crap. And we see Libra, and this is an attractive girl, and I was like, wow, I love Libra right off the bat. But sorry, I digress. Anyway, she orders Libra to alter the target of its gravity. I was like, wait, what? So Libra can control gravity, and apparently Yukino is ordering Libra to alter Kagura's gravity. I'm like, wow. I really didn't see this kind of power actually existing within, celestial spirits. I thought they might come close, but, that's just my 2 cents. Moving on to a different scene now, we're taken to Kagura. Now, Kagura no longer can move or dodge anything. She's, stopped in her tracks. And it looks as if she's been, not killed, but, she's defeated. But, looks can be deceiving, at least in my opinion. And she survives. Ironically, she actually survives. So I thought, okay, this is definitely unique. I can't wait to see where this is going to go. So Libra actually makes Kagura her gravity go sideways. I'm like, wait, so Libra can not only hold your gravity downwards, but sideways, left and right. And again, she basically pushes Kagura to the side using her gravity, and we do find out that now Kagura is pinned to a statue, so she has nowhere to go. And again, Pisces attacks, so you have Pisces as well as Libra both attacking in unison to Kagura. And I thought, okay, now it's got to be done with, it's gonna be over. But Pisces is stopped. I'm like, by who? And then Libra's stopped. Like, who the heck is stopping, both of these celestial spirits? I mean, Kagura is pinned down. What can she do? Aha, there's a catch. Apparently, Kagura, she can use gravity magic. I'm like, oh, it just gets better and better. I mean, I didn't even see this coming. I was like wondering, what was her power? I mean, she carries a sword with her. I'm like, well, a katana, technically. I'm like, I thought maybe she had some type of, swords magic with swords. But really, gravity magic? I didn't see that coming. So we're taking to a different scene. Now, apparently, Yukino is a little pissed, so she asks for, well, she doesn't ask. She basically takes back both of her celestial spirits, so she calls them back. And apparently, she talks about the 13th gate. She mentions something about the 13th gate. I'm like, wait a minute. 13th gate, there's only 12 zodiacs. What's this 13th zodiac you're talking about? Apparently this 13th zodiac is the strongest, but let me break it down. Now we do hear from Lucy. Now apparently Lucy, she only knows about the 12 gates and their keys, and she only heard some rumors about this 13th gate. So I was like, okay, so it's been rumored, so it may or may not exist. So we're taken to this 13th gate, and it's actually called the Gate of the Serpent Barrier. So Gate of the Serpent Barrier. I'm like, okay. Now it's called Ophisis, and Ophisis looks like a big ass snake. It's a serpent, so it is technically a snake, but it's a serpent. It's got like metal scales and whatnot. I'm like, wow. It looks amazing, but it doesn't really look that intimidating, in my opinion, just putting that out there. So we're taking to a different scene with Kagura. Now Kagura, we basically hear this come right out of her mouth. She's like, Blade of Resentment, arch enemy. I'm like, okay, so it's a style of the unsheathed sword. If that makes any sense, I'll say it one more time. It's a style of the unsheathed sword. That's her swordsman style, and she calls forth the Blade of Resentment, arch enemy. And I loved it. It was like perfectly timed. Now, Ophisis is defeated right off the bat. I'm like, what? We didn't even get to see a fight. It's just dead. Not dead. It's been defeated, but with one move by Kagura. Like, who is this woman? Literally. Just putting that out there. So moving on past that, she makes this interesting catchphrase. Not makes it, but she says it. So Kagura, after she defeats Ophisis, she says, sometimes mermaids can eat tigers. I'll say it one more time for dramatic effect. You sitting down? You ready? Sometimes mermaids can eat tigers. I'm like, damn, she got a catchphrase and everything after she wins. I love where it's going. And again, Yukino has been defeated. I was like, really? Now I thought, okay, isn't she supposed to die now? They put their lives on their line. So I'm like, shouldn't they both, one person die, one person be the victor? Now apparently Yukino is defeated, but she's not killed. So I'm interested, where did this bet actually go? I mean, they said putting their lives on their line, but what do they mean by that? Are they going to off themselves? Are you giving your lives up to the winner? We don't know. Other than she's been defeated, that's about it. So we're taking to a different scene with Sting, and Sting from Sabertooth, he is pissed. I mean, that's all I can really say. He is pissed. Now moving on past that, now Kagura, she now owns Yukino's life. She points that out. I own you. I'm like, about time. And of course we're taking to a different scene, and it is now the end of games for the second day. So I'm like, okay, that was the last match. We're done. So you must be wondering right now, what are the standings? Who's in first, second? I'm getting to that. You sitting down? Okay, good. Ready? Raventail is in first place with 36 points. I'm like, really? Really? First place? Raventail? 36 points? Yeah, didn't see that coming. And of course, Sabertooth and Lame Scale are in second place. They're both tied with 20 points, which means there is no third place team right now, ironically, because within the subtitles there wasn't a third place team mentioned. They're just tied for second, so that's Lame Scale and Sabertooth. They're in second place with 20 points each. Just putting that out there. Now moving on past that, Mermaid Heel, they're in fourth place with 19 points, if you didn't know that already. Moving past that, in fifth place, Blue Pegasus with 17 points. Go figure, right? Now past that, in sixth place, Quattro Puppy. Not Cerberus, because they lost, so it's Quattro Puppy, and they're in sixth place. Kind of, ironic. Moving on past that, last place, both Fairy Tail Team A and Fairy Tail Team B are tied with 12 points each, so it's a deadlock for last place. But at least they have points on the board. Now we are taken to a different scene with the captain of the guards. Now apparently the captain of the guard is getting really excited. Now he sees two celestial spirits. We have Lucy and we had Yukino. Interesting, right? So he's getting all psyched and all, excited. Just putting that out there. Now we take to a different scene with Defense Minister Darton, and he is fed up. He's had enough. I think he's crossing the picket to becoming a good guy. You heard me, he's crossing the picket lines, and he's becoming a good guy, because he doesn't want to, apparently he doesn't agree with the captain of the guards. Just putting that out there. So we are taken to a different scene with Jellal, and again it's being pointed out that although he doesn't sense dark magic being used, he senses something has to be up. I mean, something is out of place. I mean, he's not sensing the same magic that was sensed like from previous years, but something is up. It's in his gut. It's like a gut feeling. Something's not right. But just putting that out there. So we are taken to a different scene with Jellal and Urza. And again, Jellal is telling Urza everything that he actually knows now, that although he can't sense the magic, he knows something has to be up. And he's like bouncing ideas off of Urza, and Urza basically also says maybe it's a device, maybe someone's concealing their powers a little more than they used to before, stuff along those lines. So it kind of makes sense. And again, they part ways. So we're taken to a different scene with Urza and her friend Milena. That's right, we're introduced to a new character. Her name is Milena, and apparently they were friends from the past, and she just like randomly surprises Urza. It's an interesting little emotional scene where it's like, oh my god, you're here, like, so what guild are you with? I'm like, okay girls, let's do a little catch up. So apparently Milena is with Mermaid Heel, since it's an all-girls guild, so it kind of makes sense. And she kind of looks like a cat, just putting that out there. And again, it's like an emotional moment, and they're friends are doing a little light catch-up, and that ends that scene. So moving on past that, we're taken to a different scene. Fairy Tail and Quattro Puppy, not Service, Quattro Puppy, and whole Fairy Tail Team A, Fairy Tail Team B, and the rest of the guild. They're at the pub, they're drinking, they're being good sports about how they won, how they lost, along those lines. And they're drinking, of course. We do see Botches out drinking the girls. Nothing's really changed, in my opinion. However, we are taken to a brief little scene with Lucy. Now, she's thinking about Yukino, as well as, the celestial spirit she used, and maybe about the bet. I mean, what's going to happen? She's put her life on the line and she lost. What's going to happen? We don't really know. So we're taken to a different scene with Leon and Sherry from, Les Mis Skill. They come out of nowhere to join the party. So I was like, great, just jump right in, join us, But moving on past that, toward the end of the episode, we're taken to the Crocus Garden. Now apparently that's the inn where Sabertooth is actually staying, and we get to see Master Gemma. Finally, we get to see the guild master of Sabertooth. His name is Master Gemma. He doesn't really look that intimidating, but he is pretty muscular, just, in my opinion. And he's giving a speech on crushing your enemies and, how you should be better and, stuff along those lines. And moving on past that, he's telling Sting he has one more chance. I have no idea why he's telling Sting, okay, you have one more chance. What happened to his first chance? Was it because, Yukino actually lost, or, he lost during the competition? We don't really know. We really don't really know, to be honest, other than, again, Master Gemma tells Sting he has one more chance. Just putting that out there. At the same time, Master Gemma is actually yelling at Yukino. I'm like, why are you yelling at her? I know she lost and she put her life on the line, but how he was talking to her and throwing grapes at her was a little disrespectful. I just didn't like it, but I thought it was funny. I got a funny bone. I was laughing, but still. He's basically telling Yukino, you got to change. Enough's enough. Throw everything away. You got to change. And that was the end result, and that was the end of the episode. As per my final thoughts, well, first of all, let's go all the way back to Yukino. All these, the 13th Zodiac. I'm wondering if she's going to lose that to Lucy, since, Lucy collects all the Zodiacs. I'm wondering, is she going to lose that to Lucy, or, is that just another episode or arc waiting to happen? We really don't really know. But again, she's beautiful. She has the stamina to fight. Just got to watch out, because, Kagura, I didn't see that coming, just putting that out there. Kagura, let me change pace here. Let's go to Kagura. Kagura, holy shit, even Urza praised you. So definitely you are a power to be reckoned with. Just putting that out there. Now moving on past that with apparently the Minister of Defense, Darton. I'm wondering, when are you going to join the good sides? You just crossed the picket line since you've had enough with the Captain of the Guards. So I'm wondering, maybe next episode we're going to see you actually try to help Fairy Tail? We don't really know. Again, that is it for my final thoughts. As per my rating, 4 out of 5. Really? I have to give this a 4 out of 5. I want to give this a 3.5 out of 5 because, I don't know, I felt like I should. It's how the episode felt, but I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. The fight scene, Okay, it was worth it. Come on, Kagura versus, Yukino. I liked it. I liked where it was going. I just wish it would have been drawn out a little more. I mean, I felt it was kind of quick paced. We didn't see where it was actually going. It felt like Kagura was about to be screwed over. And the bet, I didn't really know what was with the bet because she didn't really honor it. Instead, she's just holding, Yukino's life. So again, final rating, yeah, 4 out of 5, because at least we got some more information on Master Gemma. That was interesting information. But again, final rating, 4 out of 5. And that is it for my walkthrough and review of Fairy Tail episode 164. But definitely comment down below, let me know, thumbs up, thumbs down. Definitely subscribe, check me out on Twitter, and follow me if you like. And as well as check my forum out, sign up for it, and check my other websites out. And again, all of that information can be found down below. And let me know what you thought of this episode, and let me know what you think is going to happen in the next episode coming out. But again, guys, that ends it for now, and I gotta hit the bricks. I've got one more walkthrough and review to do tonight, so definitely stay tuned. But again, guys, I gotta go. Before I go, I gotta say it, and I always say it, you can't stop the access, but you can watch the feed. I'll see you later, guys.